YouTube family, this is Grown B, and if you're not careful, this video might change your mindset about fighting games, and you might just get a little bit better as a result. I like to give out tips that can help you shape the way you think about the game so that you're not just better at Sparking Zero, but you're better when you jump over to Tekken. You're better if you decide to play MK1. You're better if you decide to play Street Fighter or even Multiverses for that matter. And here is something that I truly believe in. The only real way to get better at fighting games is to place yourself in environments where your ceiling is the floor. In other words, spend a ton of time playing against people who are better than you. Stop caring more about wins than you do about getting better. What does that look like? For example, I saw a guy jump into some ranked matches for the first time back when Sparking Zero kind of first came out, like that first week. He gets matched up with Afro Senju and just starts bawling out, deviling over, crying in submission, saying, "No, why do I have to face him in my first match?" And to really start to get better at fighting games, you have to be excited about those opportunities. To fight against somebody that you believe is better than you. Fight against somebody that you believe is going to kind of push you to whatever your current limit is. And I think a lot of times we just have to be honest with ourselves as players. Are you avoiding the opportunities that are going to make you better? When you have that match with that person that may be a rank higher than you, or that person that really just pushes you to the limit and right down to the wire, nobody knew who was gonna win, you're able to pull it out in the end. Are you saying to yourself, man, I don't wanna fight that person again because I might lose? Or are you saying, I need that exact type of match again to make me better? Or do you go into a match saying, you know what, I'm gonna work on my defense today, or I'm gonna work on my Z counters, or I'm gonna work on my super counters, or my vanishes, or I'm gonna work on being more accurate with my perception, or more accurate with my sonic sway. And then the moment you start to lose by focusing on that craft, you kind of dump all of that and go back to whatever is just going to get you the win. In these short 2 weeks since Sparking Zero has come out, there's been so many instances where my friends are like, oh, I thought you were gonna block that, or I thought you were gonna sidestep it, or you could have deflected that super. And I'm just like, actually, I'm just practicing my vanishes right now. And sometimes I'm taking damage and sometimes I'm losing characters, but I'm taking advantage of an opportunity to practice and learn something and perfect a piece of the craft when it comes to my skill set in this game. And an important truth to interject, it is a video game and it should be fun. And part of fun is winning. Nobody's saying that you have to sit around and lose all the time in order to get better. All I'm saying is check in with yourself. How many times are you passing up opportunities that would make you better just because you don't see any value in pushing through win, lose, or draw? Now, I want to talk about cultivating that environment of players who are better than you, or maybe your ceiling is the floor for them, because ideally this may be some of your friends, and you guys may all come up together being excited about getting good at a fighting game, but sometimes you don't have that. And so you have to search for those opportunities. You may have to play some matches online, and you may have to send some people some messages and say, hey, I enjoyed our matches. You mind just jumping in a lobby with me and sparring for a little bit? And this is where it gets a little tricky, because it goes back to the video I made with my training partner about a week or so ago about the two types of fighting game players. The ones who genuinely enjoy fighting games and the ones who just enjoy beating people up. This shows up in how two different people may use the same move over and over again just to see how you're going to respond. And one person may just sit there and laugh and say, ha 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 ha, and get a bunch of wins and watch you get frustrated and don't really care about you having a good experience, versus that person who may use that same move and say, hey, do you understand why you're getting stuck in this situation? Let me show you how to get out of this situation, or how to respond if someone's doing this same thing over and over again. And this is what I mean by good faith rivalries. You want somebody who kind of cares about you. They want to see you succeed. They get excited about you getting excited. They get excited about seeing your success. But at the same time, because of the appreciation and the love that they have for fighting games, because they actually like fighting games and not just like beating people up, they know that as you get better at fighting games, when you challenge them, it's going to force them to become that much better. You might even be a little surprised at how much better I can get, considering I don't spend a ton of time in ranked game modes all the time. I open up lobbies with my friends. We push each other to the limit. We do first to 10s. We do sets of first to 5. We do all of these different things that really just push us further and further and further and further. That way, when I do jump into the ranked matches, it seems like I'm just far beyond kind of what some of my ranks may indicate. And this is not to say that like I'm the greatest thing or that I'm just this fantastic player. I still have a ton to learn in a lot of the fighting games that I'm currently playing. All I'm saying is you can get a lot out of a controlled, competitive, and kind of compassionate environment amongst you and a few friends, or just some people that you meet online that you have fun fighting against. At the end of the day, you can study all the frame data, you can study the matchups, you can spend a ton of time in the training room, you can master the combos, you can watch every YouTube video that's telling you how to play the game and how to capitalize on certain moves and all these different things. But until you commit to getting out there and saying, I'm going to fight people who are going to challenge me every single time, I'm going to fight people who are going to make my strategies and my comfortability uncomfortable, until you get out there and fight with some intention and fight for real, you might still be pretty good, but you'll never be who you can be. And so here we are at the end of the video. If you like the video, like it. If you think someone else might like it, share it. And if you want to see more, I really hope that you would subscribe. And one more thing. Think about why it seems like some of the greatest players are also the ones giving the tips on how everyone else can become better instead of gatekeeping. What do you think that means?